the shared columns that pop up in many tables. Hi there. As someone who's spent a good chunk of time working with databases, I've noticed a fascinating pattern. Database tables, with all their rows and columns, might seem like technical jungles at first glance. But there's a hidden language within them, a way tables talk to each other through the fields we choose to include. Today, I want to focus on a special group of these fields, the shared columns that pop up in many tables. Think of them as friendly neighbors who like to visit each other's tables and lend a hand. Let's dive into a few of these common fields and see how they work together. The time travelers. Created at and updated at. Each record in your database has a little passport. These two timestamps act like entry stamps in that passport. Created at. This captures the exact moment a record is created, like a birth certificate for the data. Need to see when a customer account was first opened. Created at has the answer. Updated at. Whenever a record gets an update, like a change of address for a customer, updated at gets a nudge, reflecting the timestamp of the latest modification. This can be handy for tracking how many times a product description has been tweaked. The soft deletion squad is deleted and deleted at. Sometimes, we don't want to completely erase a record from the database. That's where these two fields come in. Is deleted. Flag. This acts like a little out-of-office sign for the record. The record is still technically there, but it's marked as inactive. This can be useful for keeping an audit trail, or allowing for rollbacks if needed. Deleted at timestamp. Similar to the isDeleted flag, this timestamp lets you know when a record was essentially retired from active use. This can be helpful for tasks like identifying data that's no longer relevant or understanding deletion patterns. The who's who of the database. There are a few other shared columns that help us keep track of who is involved with the data. Unique identifiers (IDs). Every record needs a unique fingerprint, like a social security number for data. This is usually an auto-incrementing number or a special code that sets the record apart from all the others. Foreign keys. It's like a library with books and a separate section for borrowing information. Foreign keys act like little library cards that connect the books, records in one table, to the borrowing information, records in another table. This helps us see relationships between different pieces of data. User or system IDs, who created or modified a record. These fields, often referencing user accounts or system processes, are like little signatures that tell us who's responsible for the information. Choosing the right tool for the job. So, when do we use these helpful shared columns? Here are a few examples. Tracking book orders. A book order table might have created at, updated at, and user IDs to show when an order was placed, any updates made, and who placed the order. Managing blog posts. A blog post table could use created at, updated at, and potentially isDeleted or deleted at to track post creation, modifications, and even soft deletion, if a post needs to be unpublished. The importance of a universal time zone. One very important thing to remember when working with timestamps, time zones. Since data can travel the world, we need to speak a universal time language. That's where UTC, Coordinated Universal Time, comes in. Storing timestamps in UTC ensures everyone's on the same page, regardless of their location. When displaying data to users, we can then convert the UTC timestamp to their local time zone for better understanding. Finding the perfect balance. The final takeaway is that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to using these shared columns. The key is finding the right balance between having enough information and keeping things efficient. For core tables, in tables housing critical data, like customer accounts or financial transactions, including more of these shared columns. Created at, updated at, user or system IDs might be a good idea for better auditing and tracking changes. For simpler tables, for temporary data like shopping cart contents, you might only need created at to track when the cart was created. The goal is to create a well-organized and efficient database that speaks a clear language. By understanding these shared columns and using them wisely, you can build